What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at some NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder figures. So we get two Shredders here. One that came out more recently with the Target Holothon of this Shred. I don't know what they call it, if it's Deluxe, Ultimate, whatever you want to call it, but it's a Shredder that they've kind of updated, get more accessories, stuff like that. Very similar we had with like Slash, and I think maybe in April as well with the new updated version. So now we have Shredder, which looks cool. Of course, this is from the cartoon, so we get the cartoon version there. Start shredding the news, and we got a bunch of villains there in the background, which looks cool. Nice, awesome box design where we get the old like FHE design for NECA there with it, and of course Shredder posed there on the back, and then we get him on the side with our actual figure that looks cool. It's awesome. We get the unmasked heads there as well, all sorts of accessories to go along with him. Just looks really cool, representing Shredder there from the cartoon with more accessories. And then from TMNT Adventures we get Shredder as well, which looks cool. Of course, funny here out of the bat that he has the Krang head on there, but hopefully I think we do get an extra head in there so we can have Shredder from the TMNT Adventures from those old Archie comics, which is pretty fun. So there he's got the Krang head, and as I said, we get the head we can actually put on him there, so it's an actual Shredder. So that looks pretty fun as well. And I think we've had this for quite a while, just nothing to really do it with. So we got this new cartoon Shredder, so I figured might as well take a look at two Shredders today. So let me get them open and out of the box, and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with our Ultimate Shredder from the cartoon, which of course looks good with this newly upgraded design. Of course, we've had Shredder before, but like I said, it's upgraded, so it'll hopefully be much better here. But it does look like Shredder as he appeared in cartoons, so nothing real surprising with that. So classically for Shredder, we do get all the armor on him. So he has the helmet there with the armor, so we get the mask covering his face there, and then the helmet coming down with the spikes on top. That looks good. We get the purple cape hanging off of his back, so nice cape design, the fabric cape there, hanging off with the little piece there in the front. Big shoulder armor there with the spikes, forearm armor with the spikes, and the shin guards as well with the spikes. Then he's got like the gray shirt going into the black pants, and that shirt hangs down a little bit. It's like a tunic design all the way down into the black boots there on his feet, so they did change that up a little bit. And then he's all bare arm there in the middle, and just overall looks really good, like the design overall and look for the figure. Now, movement-wise, we get the head that'll twist around, so it should be able to twist all the way around there, look down that far and up that far, so not bad with the movements, but not the best. The shoulders will come up to 90 and rotate around within there. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that'll bend up that far, so not too bad at all. We get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and should be able to flex back and forth. I know I have some issues with the movements of these hands, but thankfully this one seems like it is moving there. Then we get the ab crunch, so the upper ab crunch back and forth and twist a little around, and then he has a twist at the waist as well, so it'll twist all the way around there. Then we go down to the hips, that'll come up mostly that far, so not all the way up to 90, but not bad, and out to the side as well. There's a bit of a thigh twist up in there, not much, but just a little bit of movement. And the double knee joint, that'll bend up that far to the back, not too bad at all. Then we do get a shin twist, so just in the middle of the boot here, there's a cutout, so it'll twist all the way around there. And the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent with the movements overall, not too bad. I don't think we had too many issues out of the box. We had to, heat it up very little. Like I said, we do have a lot of issues with the hands, though, that we can't get the hands to move on their joints, but, we can still give weapons and all that, so it's not like it matters too much. But he does come with a number of accessories, of course, with this being the ultimate version. So we do get different heads. So we get, I want to say, an unmasked face. So he still has the helmet on and everything. You just see more of Oroku Saki there. So looks pretty good. Like that design. Not sure what's up with the little designs on top of his head there. But yeah, we get that head as well as an unmasked head that we can try and switch out. So there's what Shredder would look like without the helmet. So it looks pretty good overall there for Oroku Saki. Like that design a lot. But we'll go ahead and switch it back to his masked head. Then he comes with a number of hands, so we get a set of grip hands, which of course for the accessories and stuff always good. So we get a set of grip hands, as well as a set of like flat palm hands, of course all showing with the spikes there on his hands. So we get those different hand options, as well as an additional hand to hold, some smaller accessories, so a little tiny hand there with a grip. So that's nice as well. Then moving over to all the extras that are just random stuff they throw in to go along, certain scenes and stuff from all the episodes. So first for his helmet, we can take this spikes off, so it does come unattached there, and with that we do get a chef's hat that we can put on him, so we can have Chef Shredder there. So of course looks really funny and awkward with that on his head, but you can have that, so now Shredder is a chef there with that hat, which is pretty funny. Then otherwise we get a book, which is the Kojima Brothers Diary, which just was able to look this up, says it's 4 brothers from the 17th century Japan that Shredder programmed holograms off of to fight the turtles. So just their diary book there, so just a book, has a bit of a design there on it, so just that book. We also get a graphics, so an old like floppy disk, of course, from the 90s. So just a little floppy disk, and use, that smaller hand to give to him. We get an amulet, which I couldn't find at all what this did or like worked for, but obviously we can put that around Shredder's neck if we want. But a nice amulet design there. We get some Shredder bucks, which is pretty fun. So some money there. There's a little sticker on, of course, not placed too well, but it has Shredder but picture on it. So that's pretty nice. So again, use that with that smaller grip hand. We get a picture of Shredder's mom. So she's in an episode. So we get a nice picture of her that he can be holding and looking at his mom. And then finally, we get a gun, which was the Meta Laser, which was a gun stolen from a hospital, but Splinter ends up knocking out the directional control module from it, which is this gray piece at the end, which does actually come off. So it's cool that that's how it happens in the episode. So you can knock that out and have that additional little piece there with it. So that's a nice big gun we could give to Shredder as well. So overall, not bad for the Shredder. Body-wise, I actually really like it. I think this is definitely a good improvement, as I'll show you the old one here. But again, with all the NECA stuff, all those additional accessories, like I don't mind the heads and hands because that stuff can, we can use. But just all those different little accessories and stuff, like, just for posing on a shelf, don't really need any of that. So that's just all extra stuff. But here is our older Shredder, of course, back from when they first released the Turtles years ago. We got this Shredder, so definitely an older figure. You can see it's much shorter. Of course, they've upgraded, look more probably like it does in the cartoon compared to this one. Not that this is bad at all, I like it. I like though he has the wrapped like feet and legs and stuff, where now he's got the boots. Whichever one's more accurate, is the one I prefer. I don't really care either way, but just both look really cool. But I definitely like the look of this new Ultimate version. And then we also have the Archie comic Shredder, which of course is just from the Archie comics, where we've got some like the TMNT Adventures figures before, like, some of the characters, like the Mighty Mutanimals and stuff like that. So cool to add a Shredder to that collection as well. We still waiting for the Turtles, though. Hopefully they'll eventually give us Turtles from that. But looks good here. He just has Krang on his head because there was a storyline where Krang returned to Earth and takes over Shredder's body. And I think from the websites for this figure, it says it was from issue 25 of the comics. So it looks pretty good here, where we have Krang on top of Shredder's head, taking control of his body, which we can easily switch out because he does come with a Shredder head, so that'll be cool. But like the design overall, this would pretty much be exactly like that last Shredder. I mean, I'm not sure with all the details and sculpt and stuff if it is exact, but it looks very similar. Obviously, we have like the different armor and stuff is going to have different designs and layouts and all that, but like that has the mostly blue body, still has the purple cape here on his around his neck and hanging down off the back, but blue top into this purple belt around his waist or sash, whatever, with material hanging down like a skirting, blue pants going down as well. Then we get the white boots on his feet. Love has almost like the tabby shoe designs with the split toes. Again, more armor there on his shins, and love how it's got the white collar and of course some cell shading on this since it is from the comics and everything. They added cell shading. Just overall looks pretty good just with that Krang head. It looks pretty funny. Now, movement-wise, we get that little twist. Now with Krang, it should be able to twist a little side to side, look down that far, look up that far. So not a whole lot of movements. And then the Krang itself will have some movements I'll go through. The shoulders will come up to 90 and rotate around within there. Get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint. That'll bend up that far, so not bad. Get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, the upper crunch, and twist around a little. And not sure if he twists at the waist. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like it, so it just seems to be the ab crunch where he moves. The hips will come up to 90 and out to the side there. A little bit of a thigh twist. The double knee joint, again, pretty stiff on this, but can bend up that far to the back. Now, it's pretty funny that the shin and stuff is almost the same, or at least around in here, but it doesn't have the shin twist like that last Shredder, so that's pretty interesting. But down to the foot, where it'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty good overall, like I said, very similar to that other one. Has some different changes, like I said, no shin twist, and then no twist at the waist or anything, but the overall builds and stuff look very similar to each other. Now, accessory-wise, he does come with the additional head to make him fully Shredder, so we can switch that out. So let's take the Krang off. So there we can have him fully as Shredder now, and I like the colors with the blue and stuff, especially on the mask and then the white helmet and everything. So there we fully have Shredder, and now we also have Krang as well, just as an extra thing that can sit around. Of course, it still has the big hole in it where you attach it onto the body and everything. But with Krang, his arms do move as well. They don't move as a whole lot, but you can move them up and down, side to side, probably like on a ball joint in there. So you can get them twisted around and moved and adjusted wherever you need to. But we now get that additional Krang that we can use with our collection as well. Then for Shredder, we do get some extra hands. So we get a set of grip hands. So if we want to give him his weapons that he'll come with, a set of grip hands. We get a set of flat palm hands. So there, if we want to use that for anything, as well as a set of the standard Shredder hands with the claws on them in fist form. So we get those, which is pretty cool. So may use that. Then the extra accessories for him, again, like this, because, they're not that important, but at least it's not a whole bunch of them, is we get a little bonsai tree. So nice little bonsai tree here. Looks pretty nice with a flower in it. So that's a fun little accessory that we can just sit around somewhere. And then he also comes with the halberd staff, so the long spear thing with a big blade on the end of it that looks really cool. So we can switch out one of the grip hands to hold that. So let me see if I can switch that out. So there I gave Shredder the big halberd and then just put Krang in his hand. So that's probably like how we can display him, just to have Krang out there in the collection as well. So really cool overall for this Archie comic Shredder. Really like the design. Like I said, it's different and unique with the purples and blues and stuff, makes it stand out quite a bit. And just overall like the figure design and that it came with Krang as well. So that is really cool. So that is going to be it for our two NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder figures, where we got the Ultimates cartoon Shredder and the Archie comic Shredder, which both are really cool. Definitely love the Ultimates. Going to be updating our collection with that one, and then adding the Archie Shredder onto that shelf. So very cool for both of these versions of Shredders. Like both of them a lot. I think I probably like the cartoon one more just because that's such a classic look for me, but do really like the Archie as well. So let me know what you thought of these two Shredder figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know what that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.